Hey YouTube, this is Steve from Average Joe's Fantasy Football, and we've got your start and sit videos for week 3 of the quarterback position. Hopefully you guys came out with a victory. There was some really good games on Monday night games, really some blowout games, especially from quarterbacks like Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, who outperformed obviously their counterparts. And you even saw rookie Malik Willis come in because Tannehill did not have such a great game. So hopefully you guys did come out victorious. We have already dropped our waiver wire video. Hopefully you guys check that out. That way you guys can pick up some of these good players who are going to hopefully help you guys, like Jahan Dotson. You got obviously Carson Wentz still, who we'll mention in this video. So there's some good waivers, so make sure you guys check that out as well. Now, these are your obvious quarterbacks you're going to be starting this week. There's not as many as I normally put in the past, and that's because quarterback play has been a little bit of an issue across the board. Some quarterbacks are performing week in and week out, like Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert. But then there are players like Matthew Stafford or maybe an Aaron Rodgers or somebody who hasn't performed as well. So that's why I want to make sure these are your obvious players. Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert, Mahomes, Allen, these guys are always going to be your starting lineup. Now, as far as the quarterback I do have as a good start the first week is going to be Matthew Stafford. He's going against the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals have given up 26.9 points to the quarterback position, which is very, very high. On top of that, they're allowing over 3 touchdowns per game as well. So the Cardinals offense has a lot to obviously keep up with because the Cardinals defense is pretty much non-existent at this point. Matthew Stafford has a really good matchup in this one. Stafford looked a lot better in the second game as well, and he was able to spread the ball. He got Allen Robinson involved. Tyler Higbee is still getting targets, and of course Cooper Kupp really performing well. You were able to see Cam Akers really kind of show up in this game, which was awesome, which wasn't there in the first game. So obviously something to look at and keep after. Now, as far as the next quarterback I have is going to be Kirk Cousins. Now, Kirk Cousins did not have a great game on Monday night, and sometimes he does that. He doesn't show up on the prime time games. With that said, he is going against the Lions. The Lions actually have a really, really poor defense as of right now against the quarterback. They're allowing 26.8 points. They're also allowing over 290 passing yards, which is huge. The Eagles did a really good job of keeping Kirk Cousins in check. He threw 3 interceptions in this game, which is not something you normally see out of him. You'll see a few, maybe 1, maybe 2, but 3 is a large amount, especially with this offense. Now, they're still adjusting into it, but I still think Kirk Cousins is a really good start, and he's definitely going to be one you're going to have this week against the Lions. Now, the last quarterback I have as a good start is going to be Jalen Hurts. I almost put Hurts as an obvious because at this point, he is averaging over 28 points a game in fantasy, which is phenomenal. A lot of it is off of his legs. He's going against the Commanders, which obviously are giving up quite a few yards. But what makes Hurts obviously a good matchup is the fact that, again, he scored 2 touchdowns in rushing. He threw really well last night. He had 1 interception, but he threw really well last night. He did throw his first touchdown pass last night as well. So he's had a few missed throws, but this is a game where he's averaging over 50 rushing yards. He's getting at least a touchdown on the ground. And again, he looks really good. He spread the ball finally last night. Devonta Smith showed up. Dallas Goedert showed up. And A.J. Brown didn't have the best game. He didn't have to. Jalen Hurts is that guy right now, and I'm starting him this week. Now, as far as sits go, there's going to be some big names in here that you're going to probably blow me up in the comments, and that's okay. I have Aaron Rodgers as a sit this week going against the Buccaneers. Now, the Bucs have given up the second fewest points to the quarterback position with 9.3. Again, 9.3. All right. They've done a really good job. They held Dak Prescott in check. They held Jameis Winston in check. And those are pretty good fantasy quarterbacks and quarterbacks in general. They have performed pretty well. They've also only allowed 1 touchdown in the 2 games that they've gone in so far. Rodgers is still trying to find his receivers. There's not one that's really absolutely standing out. Realistically, it's Aaron Jones that has kind of helped save the day and A.J. Dillon mixed in there. So the fact that he's relying on his running backs to help him out is not a good look for Aaron Rodgers, and I'm not starting him this week against the Bucs. Another quarterback I'm not starting this week is going to be Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston is hurting all over. He's dealing with a lot of injuries, and it kind of showed up in that game against the Bucs. Now, again, the Buccaneers have a really good defense. Shaq Barrett, Devin Waits get into the quarterback. They've got really good secondary, Winfield, Mike Edwards. So they have a really good team. So it's not like Winston was just a straight dud. But he's going against another tough defense this week against the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers have only given up 12 points a game to the quarterback, and they're allowing under 160 passing yards as well. So not only is Jameis Winston hurting, had a really bad game against the Bucs, he's going against another defense that's going to do a really good job. And these divisional games are really tough. So I'm not starting Jameis Winston at all this week. And the last quarterback I'm not starting this week is Russell Wilson. I had high hopes in Russell Wilson in this offense, but now you've got Jerry Jeudy's dealing with a shoulder injury. He may play this week. We'll see. We'll have to keep an eye on that. But that definitely did not help him. Russell Wilson is not looking like himself. He's not acclimated with this offense, apparently, even though they had a lot of stuff going on offseason. He's got inaccurate passes. He's threw an interception this past Sunday. And the 49ers are actually a really good defense against the pass. They've only allowed 10.8 points to the quarterback, and they're keeping, again, under 160 passing yards. So if Judy is out, he's really got Sutton. You got KJ Hamler maybe. Albert O is not doing anything on the offense, and you've got obviously some pretty good running backs. So this is a game that I'm not in love with, and I'm not going to start Russell Wilson. Now, as far as some sleepers go, I've got Carson Wentz as a good sleeper. This is going to be a tough matchup for him. The Eagles have actually done a really good job. Again, like I said, they held Kirk Cousins to 3 interceptions on the Monday night game. This matchup is definitely tougher for Carson Wentz, but they are still allowing over 14 points to the fantasy quarterback. And they're also allowing about 2 touchdowns passing in each game. So the Eagles can be susceptible to some scoring. So I think Carson Wentz is going to be one of those guys you might want to squeeze in, especially in a super flex. You're absolutely playing him, but you might put him in there depending on what's going on with your roster. Another quarterback I have as a good sleeper is going to be Derek Carr. Derek Carr is going against the Tennessee Titans, who look lost right now. They allowed 3 touchdown passes to Josh Allen, really just to Stephon Diggs himself. And on top of that, Carr looked a lot better in the second game. He threw 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. They did lose that game, unfortunately. Hunter Renfrow had some injury, had the concussion. He had a couple fumbles at the end. Not completely Derek Carr's fault, but Derek Carr actually looked pretty good in that game. And again, a really good bounce back matchup against the Tennessee Titans. So this is one I'm going to put in there as well. So those are my start, sit, and sleepers for the quarterback position for week 3. If you guys do have questions of who you should start or sit, or if you have waiver questions, hit us up in the comments down below. Or of course, you can follow us on our socials or on Twitter and Instagram. If you did enjoy the content, make sure you hit the subscribe button and that notification bell is on. That way you guys are notified every time we drop a video just like this. And of course, hit the like button. It is greatly appreciated. Make sure you stay tuned. We'll be dropping our running back, wide receivers, and tight end start and sits. And we'll be also talking about some trades this week that you may want to buy low or maybe sell high. So again, make sure you pay attention to that. And we'll check you guys out next time.